So then guys, are Apple still looking into making an Apple Ring, and are we going to be getting it in 2025 or even into 2026? Well, today we're going to go over everything that we know of the possibility of an Apple Ring. But first of all, let's talk about the smart ring market right now. Now there's been loads of companies out there providing kind of ring sort of options out there. You know, I can name a few here. That you've got Lunar Ring, for example, you've got Ringcon, we've even got Samsung that have also introduced their own version of the Ring 2. But first of all, let's talk about where we are in, say, the ring or the smart ring sort of business right now. Now, there are lots of providers out there of smart rings, but I would say probably in the last sort of year, this has really pushed out there quite a fair bit. For example, we've got Aura, who brought out their ring. They were one of the first ones to do that, their smart ring, but a subscription came along with that. Then we've also got other companies like, say, Ringcon, who have also brought out their own ring too, and obviously there is no subscription with that essentially. But obviously these are fantastic rings to actually get, and what I would say these smart rings are doing, they're doing very similar sort of tasks to, say, like what a watch does now, like a smartwatch. The only main difference is obviously you wear it as a ring. Now I think one of the main advantages, for example, for someone like myself who likes to wear different kind of watches out there, well, I think this is a great option that you can wear a ring and also wear a nice fancy watch or watch that you love instead too, because at the end of the day we don't just always need to have a smartwatch always on us. Now it is really useful to get notifications and things like this on your smartwatch, but some of you guys are just happy to get this on your phone instead. But like I said, the main sort of thing is it's tracking your health, tracking your sleep, and one of the other big advantages over a smart ring is definitely the battery life compared to a smartphone. Unless you've got like Garmin kind of sort of smart watches and things like this, where I've got incredible battery life, generally speaking, the top sort of market out there from, say, from Samsung, or say even some of the Google watches, and also say from the Apple Watch, you know, especially, you can only really get up to about 2 or 3 days battery life maximum with them without pushing them back on charge. Whereas smart rings, we're getting anywhere from, say, 7 to 10 days of battery life before we have to put them on charge, and they're faster at charging too, what is really great news to hear. But like I said, the actual market has moved on quite a bit with these sort of smart rings, and one of those companies that came out with a brand new ring was last year with Samsung. They brought out their Galaxy ring, and this came out in the summertime, and it was super popular. It was out of stock everywhere when it first came out, and so many people who are on the Samsung ecosystem are utilizing the Samsung ring and really find it useful. Now, you can use the ring with, say, a smartwatch with a Samsung Watch 2 to get even more accurate kind of readings if you want to do that. But generally speaking, a lot of people just wearing it on its own without, say, a smartwatch 2. I've seen quite a lot of people walking around with them. What is really good news to hear that obviously this market is expanding out there. For someone like me, I've even tested out some different sorts of smart rings, like I've got right here the Lunar Ring, what I'll be talking about in another video coming up very soon in the future. And you know, these are fantastic. They fit on nice and easily. You can go to sleep, they can monitor your sleep and things like this, monitor your health, and they are brilliant. I am a big fan of smart rings for myself, that they're just so much more convenient just to wear about with you, you know, and they don't take up too much size and too much space and things like this. And also that I can wear my other watches, what I absolutely love when I've got this ring on. But what about like these renders we're seeing right here? Will we ever get a smart ring from Apple? Now, what I will say is there were loads of leaks and rumors bouncing around over a year ago talking about a smart ring coming from Apple, but what I will say is it has gone very quiet in the last sort of 6 to 7 months. Some people even thinking that Apple might be completely scrapping the idea of bringing out a new smart ring, going into that kind of area whatsoever. But other people also thinking positively, me myself, is that they're looking to see how the market kind of evolves with, say, the Apple Ring. Now, I spoke about, for example, with foldable phones. Now, when foldable phones first came out, they were not popular, the smart ones as this. Obviously, we had foldable phones 30 years ago. But you get the idea that even the smart ones, they weren't that popular, but they are slowly getting more and more popular in the world. And especially that I've popped over to a lot of the different sort of Asian countries, the kind of ones in the Western Asia, there's a lot of people using them over there right now. And I think this is a market that a lot of people like Samsung are targeting, Apple have offered the opportunity to also make a foldable sort of phone, and we've been hearing leaks and rumors that they're finally coming into this market, even though the first kind of sort of smart foldable phones came out 7 years ago. Now, if you adapt that to, say, the smart rings, I think this is the same tactic that Apple are playing out right now. They're looking to see if more and more people are adapting to these rings, and then they were going to jump on the bandwagon, as it were, and bring out their own one. So I do think definitely it is on the cards that Apple are still going to bring out their smart ring, but the big question you're going to be asking is, what about the release date and price on this? So then guys, just quickly, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, Extra. And Extra have sent me 3 amazing products here. We have here the Extra wallet, we also have here the Extra card holder, and then we've also got here the Extra Finder card. And let me tell you a little about each of these. The Extra wallet is a premium leather smart wallet, perfect for slim storage and quick card access. It has a built-in aluminum card holder that fans out your cards super quick at just a click of a button. And it also protects them against RFID skimming. And the great thing is you can hold up to 1 to 12 cards and bills. And the great thing I love about this wallet is that obviously, like I said, there's lots of sort of different sort of pockets around this, what makes it really, really awesome. And then we have the Extra card holder. So this is specifically for cards where you can actually store 6 cards in the main sort of button slot opener, what's really good to flex it out. And then on the back, you can even store an additional 6 more cards. Again, really easy just to slot out. And this aluminum design is really premium. It feels absolutely amazing. And I'm going to say this is rock solid. But then after this, we've got this right here. This is the Finder card, and the great thing about this is that you can use it with the Apple Find My network, and as you can see, it's the size of a credit card, so you can easily put it into one of these new Extra wallets, and then if you do leave it behind, you can set up alerts, and also if you can't find your wallet, there's also a loud ringer in it too. On top of this, a full charge of this card can last up to 6 months, what's absolutely incredible. And if you want to check out any of these products right now, Extra have got a sale on right now until May 19th. And with that, you can get 30% off their products right now. But it gets even better than that. If you use the code, what you can see right now, MacTalksTech, they will give you an additional 10% off. And all you have to do is just use the link below in my description and use that code. And with that, let's return back to the main video. So back to a release date and price then on the Apple Ring. It doesn't look like Apple are making an Apple Ring right this second. Well, they probably are researching it, but they're not actively working on a prototype model. And like I said, I think they want to see what that market is all about right now to see if people are going to hook onto it, as it were, even more. So based on that, it doesn't look likely we're going to get an Apple Ring in 2025. If anything, the earliest it would probably be the end of 2026. At the moment, but we'd have to get more leaks coming in and more news coming in telling us that Apple are going to go down this area even more to absolutely confirm this. Now, if Apple did bring out an Apple Ring, I cannot actually imagine them having a subscription service, because like a competitor, like for example, like Samsung, they don't do that. But I could imagine that the Apple Ring is possibly going to cost as much as a baseline, say, Apple Watch SE. So we're talking about $250, even more potentially there. At the end of the day, Apple, you know, they've increased their prices on a lot of other devices like the iPhone 16e. They could do exactly the same here. And then obviously the likes of Samsung, they do have, say, their watches, and their Ring, you know, is more expensive than their baseline one. So, you know, it could be this is the same case. What Apple are going to do is cramming in smaller technology into a ring. So on that one, I am going to say it, we are going to be targeting, in my opinion, somewhere between $300 to $500 in price for the new ring. So yeah, it is going to be quite expensive, but we'll just have to wait and see when it comes out exactly how much it will be. But with that then, guys, that is the latest and greatest we know on the Apple Ring. Is this something that you're excited about? Do you think Apple should really push ahead and make this, and would you get one? Well, let me know in the comments below. And with that as well, guys, it's time to wrap up this video too. So if you have enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button. And if you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews and comparisons, make sure you subscribe to the channel and also hit that notification bell. Until next time, guys, I'll see you really soon. Take care of yourself and see you soon. Bye bye.